All right, it looks like we are live. Good morning, everyone. Today is January 9th. It's a Friday. Very nice weather out here in Michigan. Hit my first outdoor run of the year. Hey, I'll take them when I can get them. If you're new to this channel or this stream, what we do is we start the morning off with a wellness check. We're going to look at all the different markets in this space. We'll start out with cryptocurrency. We'll look at gold, we'll look at silver, we'll look at the bond markets, and we'll look at the stock markets. We'll combine this with a total picture to see how these markets are moving and how they're going to benefit, or in some cases, not benefit the crypto market. What's going on? We got work here today. I'm really hoping that the microphone is working today. Work, if you could let me know. Um, I am streaming on YouTube's native platform, so it's not as good for customization. I've been testing with a streaming software that I'll probably be more fluent in. So starting next week, I'm probably going to switch which stream provider I use. I think it's going to be a lot better going forward. Not only is the OBS is the software, not only does OBS stream better, it's going to allow me to customize my microphone more. So it's going to be more in tune with how my pre-recorded videos are. I think it might be slightly quiet when I'm streaming directly to YouTube. So I'm excited about that because that's going to really ramp up the production value. As I promised, we finally got the barrel lid up. I had to go to Home Depot and get some mounting equipment, so that's why it took so long. We're definitely going to be mounting this. I just didn't grab enough hanger screws. So, Dean, if you're watching, Dean created that barrel lid. He's also created this. He owns ppclaser.com. So if you like my channel and you also want to support a veteran, you could do two birds with one stone by going to ppclaser.com. He's also created this custom XRP coin for me. I think this is really cool. We're still working out what we want to do. We're probably going to collaborate on some cool merch for you guys, but for now, I'm just focused on growing the channel, getting a little bit of a larger user base before we really dive into stuff like that. So cool stuff. Definitely something to keep an eye out for. In addition to that, I've been running these streams every day from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm thinking about maybe tightening up that schedule. I don't know that we need a full 2 hours. I think today we're just going to run through what I have available. And when it seems like we're coming, when it seems natural end, that's probably when I'll see, like, okay, maybe an hour. Um, we were digging into some articles, and I don't know that we really need to be reading articles together. I think that's probably not the most interesting content. So I'll try to keep it exciting for you guys and to make sure that the pacing is good. And I'll be working on making it a little bit more structured. I think the first half is real good when we're going through charts and things like that. But it seems like maybe some of the news analysis can kind of unwind in strange directions. So we'll definitely work on that. A question I have for you guys in the audience, because I can't see it necessarily on my side. Are you guys able to see the live chat, or do I have to put a separate window when I display my screen for you guys to see it? Because that's something that I would like for you guys to be able to see the chat so you know which chats I'm responding to as I go through it. Unfortunately, what I see on my side and what you guys see on your side are not exactly the same things. This is all work in progress. Just started streaming this week, so we'll get better at it as we go. I just want to see what we've got in the comment section before I throw on the market recap. So appreciate you guys have been hopping in every day. We got work, we got determined, Dean, Pat. I'm seeing a lot of the same people coming back. We got black gold. So appreciate you guys because you're really helping me make this a reality. Channel grows. We're just going to get more and more people. I'm structuring my content in a way where it'll be easy to go from my pre-recorded videos straight into stream. So that's kind of the idea I have with that. And over time, this thing will hopefully just spiral out of control. But we'll cross that bridge one upload at a time. Let's see here. We got streaming is a learning curve, but you see me doing a nice job. I appreciate that. It's a little nerve wracking, when you're doing a pre-recorded video. If you screw up, you just edit it out. And if you don't like the video you're filming, you can just throw out the video altogether. But on a stream, once you say it, it's out there. So whether you make a mistake or you say something that people don't like, you kind of have that air of almost anxiety in the back of your head at all times. I'm sure over time, I'll care less and less about stuff like that. But uh, for now, knocking off the training wheels, it can be a little nerve wracking. But I do like the streaming format. I think it's really cool. I watch a lot of streamers myself. Maybe some of you guys are familiar with Asmongold. He started out as a World of Warcraft streamer, and now he just basically streams politics. And it's really interesting to see where things can go. I mean, go from gaming to being almost like a replacement for Pierce Morgan in a way. So it's just cool to think about like where things can go. So catching up here, that coin is great conversation starter. I play poker and would use that as a card protector. That's kind of what we were going for with this. What we're thinking about doing is creating some custom edition coins that you can either have as a collector's item for yourself, or maybe it would make a really good gift for someone. So, like, let's say if some of you guys have young kids, you could stick these under the pillowcase, tooth fairy kind of thing. It could be whatever you want it to be. But I think that would be cool, and we're gonna kind of talk that out and see what we come up with. Um, are we selling our XRP tokens at 10K or 100K per token? We don't know yet. We're gonna figure that out. So I don't want to give out anything yet, and we'll just see where it goes. So I'm gonna jump now to the markets, and we're going to see what we've got for today. Hopefully, I've got the volume on correctly, and we get this in one go without having to. So covering off the overall market, we've seen a slight correction from yesterday. It's moved a little bit up. We had a 2-day slide. Now we're looking at I mean, it's a very minor correction, right? But we are up in general on coin market cap 1% since yesterday. So not a whole lot of exciting news on the crypto pricing goes, but we do see Bitcoin is rising back up. It's back up to 91, which 0.5%. And really, as of this morning, if we drag this up to narrow it up a little bit more, I don't know if it'll allow me to get it this narrow. But in any case, we go from 90,000 to 91 and a half, and then Bitcoin moves. The other coins move a lot more. XRP, you guys know we love XRP. If the barrel lid didn't give it away, chart looks very similar to Bitcoin's. We're up not a whole lot, but maybe about 1% since the morning started. So it's 11 a.m. here in Michigan. First thing when I woke up, he's around 208. Now we're up to 213. So nothing too crazy happened overnight. Not a whole lot of price changes up or down. Cash. I haven't looked at this one since yesterday. I want to see, did this thing in fact get rug pulled? Because sometimes something can swing and actually have a pretty large recovery. I had a feeling this could potentially happen. So on yesterday's stream, we looked at Zcash. Around the time that I was streaming, it would have been around 410 to 420. It did recover back up to 450. So maybe Zcash isn't as doomed as I thought it would be. I'm still not sure that I would be buying it, but this is an interesting one to look at nonetheless, simply because the Winklevoss twins are involved in it. And not sure if you guys have seen the Facebook did in the movie, and they're being played by actors. So Of course, it's not the real thing. Off as shady characters in the movie. Maybe that's not a fair assessment of these guys. I'm sure they've got their own side of the Facebook story. But to see that they dumped a crazy amount of money into Zcash right around September, and then it just shoots just like crazy all the way up. And if you remember, September and October were bad months for everybody else. So I was watching this thing go up as the rest of us were watching XRP go down. Um, Times to see things rise while your favorite, you just keep a level head. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Gonna take a look at the chat real quick, see if we got, see if I missed anything. We talked about Canton a little bit yesterday. I still have to continue and research on it. I spent most of my research time yesterday looking through Quant, so I have some stuff on that. I can't say too much about Canton right now, and I haven't looked into EA at all. I have seen some TAO. I don't exactly know what TAO is, but it looks like a fork of Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true or not, so I still need to look into this, but it does seem to be we got a 21 million cap. So could this be a Bitcoin fork? It could be. I have to continue researching it. If someone in the chat knows the answer to that, feel free to let me know, and I'll give you a shout out. I don't know too much about it other than that. So this will be another thing for me to look into. We got determined Bearman says I that would probably sound like it makes sense. It definitely, for one way or in one way or another, it seems to really follow the market supply of Bitcoin. So that's what makes me think it's related. Quant, yeah, we'll jump more. I have some Twitter posts that I save. We'll jump into Quant in a little bit. But just to give you a sneak peek, I found some interesting things saying that they're partnering up with Toyota and some other Japanese companies. And then I also saw, let me see where the tweet is. It might be down below. Way down here. Quant is doing a whole lot with the UK Parliament. And in general, you guys have probably noticed I say on this channel a lot, I'm not exactly a chart chaser. I'm more of a news chaser. I buy my assets based on partnerships and the technical side of this space. So being first in line for the UK Parliament to me is a good sign. I still don't fully understand what the token's purpose is, but if they're being chosen by the UK, a good foot in the door to start saying, well, maybe open up a small position. I'm still probably not going to buy them at this time. I think the opportunity cost against XRP and Flare is just too great at the moment. But this is Quant is something I'm looking at, and it's down to 75. It's in general trended usually in the hundreds, low hundreds, anyways. So it is on sale. I mean, basically everything's on sale right now. It'd be something to really look into. Yeah, by the way, looks like we've got 24 in the stream right now, only 12 likes. If you guys could like the stream, that lets YouTube know to show this to more people. So that helps. Every little bit helps grow the channel. Appreciate. Oh, we went to 12 to 13. Appreciate you guys. If you are joining this stream from your recommendeds page, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're here Monday through Friday. Right now I'm doing 11 to 1 a, or not 11 to 1 a.m., but 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We might tighten this up a little bit, so it might change to 11 to 12:30. But in general, we're going to be here every day. If you want to know how the market moves, hop on this channel. We're covering basically everything. We're even going to look at metals. We're going to look at the bond market, and we're going to look at the stock market, just so that we've got a full total picture of what's going on. Work says I like low cost coins. I do too. I don't know if it's just a mental thing, but I like knowing that I can get more tokens. So when I see something like Flare and it's like a penny and 1/10 right now. So, you stick $100, I think about 100 bucks would get you close to 10,000 Flare right now. Now, I've seen some people in the Flare space think that Flare is going to be over $1 pretty soon. So if you're buying this when it's at a penny, I mean, you're going to get a 100x opportunity out of that if it does happen. I don't want to come on here and say that it's a certainty, but I'm definitely on the side of people thinking this is going to go to $1 or higher. The timeline on that, probably not before 2030, but anything could happen, especially with the Clarity Act in play. I want to talk about that in a little bit. We got West George. Andrew, do you trade futures, perpetual, or leverage? I I'm glad you asked that question because this is something I really want to address real quick. Let me go full screen so I can really emphasize this. I know people in my personal life that have gotten wiped out from options trading. One person in particular, and I don't know if he watches this stream or not. I won't go into too much detail, but it ended up turning into a divorce for him. Yeah, I get it. We're men, or at least most of us watching this are probably men. We like taking big risks, but when you get into options trading, all it takes is one really bad trade and you get completely wiped out. I only like to buy assets with money that I've actually earned through income. And then I don't like to do any derivatives, no options. I don't take out loans. And this is a really good way to protect yourself because things do happen, markets do go down. There's probably going to be a time in the future, maybe 2029, we enter another crypto winter. If that happens, as long as you're not on leverage, you just go dormant, hold on to your tokens, either buy more or find some other way to supplement your income during that recover, you are made whole again. If you get into options and it doesn't play out, that money is gone for good. So that is why I really can't stress enough. I don't like leverage. And I don't really like content creators that suggest that you use leverage either. I think it's extremely irresponsible to be doing that. As content creators, we do have an obligation when, especially the more your audience grows, like you have to realize as a creator that some people are going to take the advice that you give and make life-changing decisions with that information. So if you're just selling hype or selling like if you're basically engagement farming, because selling high prices is going to get people to keep coming back to the videos. You do that kind of stuff, you could actually ruin people's lives. And I think that's something that I myself, I really want to avoid that. I do not want to get into the content game just to get a message one day saying, I listened to your advice and now I'm poor. Um, Only buy with what you've got. And this channel is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a licensed professional. I'm not a financial advisor. So take all of that with a grain of salt. A grain of salt. Echo of Silence. I just watched a video where a guy said to sell your house and buy Bitcoin instead. That's exactly what I'm talking about. There are so many charlatans in this space. It really, really grinds my gears. It's part of the reason why, I got into the content because I didn't like the content I was getting. I'm not going to name drop channels, but there's definitely channels that I see that you guys are watching because through my analytics page, I can see what other channels you guys look at. And some of them I don't trust whatsoever. I think they're hype salesmen. And just the way they talk about $10,000 XRP or $1,000 Flare, $1,000 HBAR, it's like, where are people getting these numbers from? Maybe by 2050, but you don't want the news of 2050. You want to know what's going on in 2026, 2030. Anything beyond that, it's like, what's the point of giving a price prediction for that? And to that extension, what would be the point of making a thumbnail that says $10,000 XRP? You're never going to get that from me on this channel. And that's a promise. I will never put $10,000 XRP in any of my thumbnails ever. If I do, you guys have my permission to run me up the flagpole in the comment section. Hey, what's going on, Jake? Glad you can make it. Exactly. You know what? I'm going to share the screen again, because then we can just look at a perfect example of this together. I'm going to pull us back up to Bitcoin, and we'll look. I mean, we go back to, let me see. Let me drag this chart. You go back to October of last year. Are we at October yet? Let me tighten this bad boy up a little bit more. Here we go. Look at that right there. October 10th. That could almost become a crypto holiday or like a Memorial Day or something. I mean, anybody who had leverage on October 10th got cleaned out. This chart doesn't even really do it justice, because the market was down for such a small period of time that it doesn't actually log how low it really got. I was watching it live when it happened. XRP, because I'm an XRP guy, not necessarily a Bitcoin guy. XRP went from 280 down to $1.80 in the span of about 240 about 15 minutes later. If you had stop losses set, or if you were trading on leverage, you literally got cleaned out. So I don't even do stop losses. It's different from the stock market, because here, check this out. I have it already open. In the stock market, if the S&P 500 has a bad day, there's something called a circuit breaker. The circuit breaker triggers after a 7% loss on any given day, meaning if the S&P 500 is down 7%, trading for the day basically gets frozen. So it's kind of a way for the market to be like, all right, everybody, go home and sleep on it. There's nothing like that for crypto. So to see a 50% wipeout in one day, that could only happen in the crypto space, because it doesn't have that type of regulation. And I don't even know that it could. But I don't do stop losses. I buy, I hold. You stick that bad boy in a wallet and you ride out whatever storm comes your way. I always say I like to be like a palm tree in a hurricane. You might get whipped around sometimes, but you're always still there after the sun comes back and the storm is over. Pat says you get a pretty good win rate if you bet against Claver's price prediction. Yeah, I mean, you got a 99.99999% chance of beating them. I tried to check into his stream last night just to see. Well, I know that it was on Wednesday. I tried to watch his latest stream just to see what he was saying. I couldn't get through more than like 5 to 10 minutes of it. I ended up turning it off because I just feel like his credibility is just completely cratered. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he ends up being right, but the way that he did those price predictions really rubbed me the wrong way. Let's take a quick look now at silver and gold, because silver is starting to move upward a little bit. We saw it top at around $82 about 2 weeks ago. Or actually, no, just about a week ago. Maybe not even. Let me tighten this chart up. Okay, yeah. So 2 weeks ago, it did run up to 81, but it didn't stay there. Then it went back up to 81 on January 6th. Went back down again, but now it's back up to 80. I think silver is an interesting play because Samsung is, I don't know if the right word is patent or not, but they're developing silver batteries. So if you're in the EV market, you know that EV vehicles are using lithium for their batteries, or sometimes cobalt. If silver becomes the uh, default for batteries, and the technology behind it seems pretty interesting. The much longer ranges, faster charge speeds. If silver gets picked up for that, I think silver just purely through its utility alone will continue growing. Don't want to give a price prediction on it, but given the option, if you did want to diversify just to have more assets, I don't think there's ever anything wrong with doing that. Probably buy silver instead of gold. I do think gold is a little bit too high for what it is. I'm not sure that gold really should be $4,500 an ounce, and I don't think it's going to stay there. The only way that it could stay there is if the US dollar hyperinflates, and I think that says more about the dollar than it does for gold. If you were gonna looking just from a returns perspective, if silver takes over the EV market, I would be buying silver before I'd be buying gold. The only reason I'm not buying silver is because I would never want to have paper silver. I would if I'm going to do it, I'm going to get the physical bars or coins. And it's just such a hassle to do that, which is honestly the reason I haven't, you know, easy enough for me to just keep buying crypto. I do think crypto is going to outperform it, but it's a good option to have some diversification in your overall total portfolio. I'm going to jump over here and catch up on the got work. We got pump. Bitcoin is for others. I want thousands of percent of growth. I am 100% on board with that. Um, when you stake or delegate, forgot which one, but you get rewards. What are those? I assume eventually you can redeem for cash. Yeah, so I'll give an overview on that. Staking and delegating is going to be specific to Flare. Let me get some Flare stuff up on screens for you guys to look at while I talk about it. Actually, I could just go to the Flare network. Let's just do that. So, if you're not familiar, you can stake or delegate your Flare by going to the Flare network and hitting delegate and stake. Takes you to another page where you just click this button here. Then you have your you connect your wallet. Once your wallet's connected, if you click on the account tab on the left side of the screen, you're going to see your epochs. On the right, you'll see your airdrops. I wouldn't worry too much about that because that is going away. And then you got the staking tab here. So delegating and staking, very similar things. Delegating is more favorable for people that have less tokens or are looking for something more short term. Staking is more of a long term option, and it also requires more upfront tokens. Aside from that, the mechanisms behind how you're going to get paid are the same. Something to note, look at the FTSO provider lists. Analytica, is that how you spell it? I think, hold on. Shoot. I think it's Catalinica. Catalinica. Oh, geez. Here, I know it. That's on my I covered it in this video here. Catalinica. There we go. Sorry about that, you guys. So if I go to this website here, not only can I see the timing, you can see when the voting happens. They have to get to 3,360 rounds in order to fulfill an epoch, and then the epoch pays out. Well, the next one's expected on January 12th, but this is a timer that you can come and check. So long term, the way I'm thinking about this is if I ended up wanting to delegate my flare and turn that into passive income, I'll know exactly when I'm getting paid. Um, but jumping over to the FTSO page, because I think this is probably what you really wanted to see. Let me make sure I'm on the right one. Reward analytics. I think this will be what we wanted to see. Yeah, here we go. Okay, this is good enough. It's not quite in chart format, but you can see here's all the FTSO providers. And in the middle you have your delegation percentage per year, and on the right you have your staking per year. You're going to notice on a majority of these, the staking's worth about double. Not going to be the case 100% of the time. Like this one right here has got a 7.5 delegation, only about a 30% staking. But then, the Solarius next to it has 6% delegation, 12%. So this one is double. I'm doing both right now. When the flare drop ends, I think I'm going to probably move some of my delegation over to long-term staking. Because if you just look at the numbers here, whoa, this one's really interesting. The delegation's actually better than the staking. I wonder how that plays out. Well, in any case, you come to here, pick the FTSO that you think's going to do the best. And, if you're able to get 13% on your flare, easy. I don't know if it's going to stay like this long term because in general, high interest, or not high interest, but high yields usually mean there's something wrong with the asset. But I do think that because we're in such a pioneering space, this is probably to get you into here. I don't know if it would stay this way on the other side of price appreciation, but I'm going to get more into staking. If nothing else, use me as, an experiment. Like I'm Frankenstein building his own monster, or like using his own body as the monster. Let me figure this stuff out and I'll just report back to you guys with my findings. If you're not willing to do this yet, there's nothing wrong with just sitting back and watching. Even by being a part of this stream, you guys are getting like upfront information. So if there was a time to move on this, you guys will be the first to know. I feel like you've got to do this right now. Let me let me be the guy that goes out into the jungle and starts carving the path up. I don't mind. Work says, that'll be awesome, bro, because I'm totally thinking about staking and flare and the stuff you're talking about right now. May as well be Chinese. So I can't understand any of it, so please do. I appreciate that because when I first got into crypto, I had absolutely no idea what any of these YouTubers were talking about. And I'm the kind of guy, it's just the way my brain works, is that like I really get into it. Whether it was getting into bodybuilding, then I got into marathon running, then I got into hardcore World of Warcraft, and it's like I can't just do something casually. If I'm going to do something, I do it to be the best. And so when I got into crypto, I just started tearing the internet apart because I really wanted to understand how all this stuff works. Unfortunately, I had to quit playing World of Warcraft. It was cutting into my my crypto time. But that was a lot of fun when I was playing. I appreciate all. It looks like we got some new joiners. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe to Friday. We're covering the crypto news. You'll never miss a beat if you're subscribed to this channel. And if you do me a favor, like this stream if you're brand new to the stream. Every little bit helps get me a little bit more coverage. Much better investment in your time. Yeah. I was playing Classic WoW. I don't know World of Warcraft, but Classic World of Warcraft was designed to waste your time at every opportunity. And I think it's part of how they make the game addicting is that you feel like if you're not in there doing something, you're going to miss out. I enjoyed it, but I just don't have that kind of time. if I want to get this channel growing, I basically that's basically the two things I do. And I go to hockey games, I guess. Do that too. Let's take a look at the Japanese government bonds. We haven't talked about this yet. It seems to have flattened out a little bit. So I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. None of us know for certain if the reverse is actually going to unwind. If it does unwind, I think the yield needs to be a bit higher. So to see that it's gone flat like this, it doesn't mean that it's over. Either going to take longer or could fix this problem without the reverse carry trade. I think if it got to 2.5%, I think they would have no choice but to reverse carry trade. And if you're not with the reverse carry trade, I'll give it a quick overview. The yen traditionally does not inflate. So for us to see the yen inflating is a pretty big deal because the yen's inflation rate's been pretty close to 0% since the 80s. So they yield down by doing what's called a carry trade. And a carry trade is when you have a low interest currency or asset and you exchange it for something that is high interest rate, like the US dollar. Well, if the yen starts to have an interest rate that continues to rise, it can no longer do a carry trade because you have to have that low interest rate asset, right? So they can do what's called a reverse carry trade, which is to convert asset or currency back to something that has low or zero interest rate. What would that be? XRP. That's the whole theory. That is basically the start of the domino theory. So basically stage 1 is the Japanese bond market collapsing. That's the first domino. If that were to happen, let's just say it took $1 trillion to fix this problem. That would add $1 trillion to XRP's market cap overnight, which would probably jump its price from $2 to $20 in the span of possibly minutes. This is the domino theory. I do think this could happen. I don't want to say that it will happen. What comes next after that? It's like a giant chessboard, but instead of one-on-one, it's like 1 versus 100. It's kind of like Fortnite and chess if they had a baby. But everybody wants to go second. So if Japan goes first with the reverse carry trade, XRP goes to 20 bucks, 25, maybe something like that. It wouldn't take long to see countries in Qatar, Singapore, India, possibly even the United States start to immediately switch their banking systems to XRP. And each country that would make this conversion is going to be adding hundreds of billions of dollars, potentially even $1 trillion into XRP's market cap. So that could, it wouldn't take long to potentially go from where XRP is right now, where it's sitting at about 100 billion. Maybe you got 3, 4, 5 trillion. No one really knows. All we know is that on the other side of the domino theory, you've got an XRP that's grown 50x, 100x. I do think 1,000x is a little too ambitious, if I'm being honest. But the way I see it, if XRP goes to 50 bucks, I think a lot of people here are either going to get a lot of relief, or they can just check out of the 9 to 5 society altogether. I've done other videos of more traditional investing where in order to retire, at least here in the United States, you need about a minimum of $2 million. Anything less than that, and you're going to really be live in almost kind of like self-induced poverty. But at least you could finance it yourself without government assistance. 2 million is probably about, I get it. 2 million is probably not going to cut it. You probably want closer to sports car, the house, change zip codes. Anything beyond $10 million, it's like it's like jumping into water. If the goal is to get wet, does it matter if you jumped in a swimming pool or into the ocean? It's kind of the way I look at it. Once you cross that 10 million mark, it's like whether you got 10 million or 20 million or 30, your lifestyle is probably not going to change much. So that's why I don't want to reveal my own portfolio, but I don't need XR. Probably don't even really need it to be 500. And what I try to say on this channel is that if you just continue to dollar cost average and just buy XRP, with every paycheck, not at $2, you can load up pretty well right now at $2 without breaking the bank or selling your house or getting an extra loan from the bank. You don't need any of that. Just the don't skip the Applebee's or the Red Lobster dinner or whatever it is that you guys do on the weekend. Just cut back, put a little bit more into XRP, and you just ride this out for the next 6 months to a year. If XRP goes to $50, I think a lot of us are probably going to be doing all right. And by that time, I think Firelight will be fully operational and giving rewards and yield. So, I would say once XRP's price does appreciate, instead of cashing out, and maybe you take a small amount of profit just to get some relief, but really get it staked, because then the rewards you get from staking could just supplement your income and you never have to sell a single token. What else to look at before we jump into Twitter? Um, okay, I'm catching up on Zerp's comment here. Jay Claver is persuasive and somewhat convincing, but something is off with him. I don't know what the scam is, but it probably has something to do with Digital Ascension Group and Digital Wealth Partners. I think Jake Claver is playing a game called Two Truths and a Lie. I think that he's said enough things about XRP that on some level he has to know what's going on more. But I wouldn't trust my money, and I'm not saying this to be combative or start drama, but I personally wouldn't be a customer of Digital Wealth Partners. You have to have 50,000. To me, it's like I'm connecting the dots here. Is all of the hype content so that people can get to that 50,000 XRP mark so that they can get into Digital Wealth Partners? And then on top of that, I tuned into a stream just to see what was going on Wednesday. And he's still talking about his mastermind and how you better join now because they're going to close the door soon. Hold on, I got something in my lens I got to grab. Here we go. I'm sitting there thinking, like, hold on, dude. You just missed your price prediction by $748. How are you about to come on here and tell people that your class is about to fill up? And that if you don't get in now, it's going to be more expensive later. That's really weird to me. I don't like it when he's got a lot of really good info. I don't know where he's getting it from, but he seems to know stuff the rest of us don't. But something just, I get that gut feeling. I'm like, man, there's something not right here. Hey Andrew, just FYI, because I know it's your first week of live streaming, but it's pretty glitchy. Tried restarting, but no better. Some constructive criticism. For everyone else, if so, there's something I can try, but I'd have to step away for about 30 seconds. Let me know in the comments section if things are choppy or glitchy, and I'll step away and do some triage. Okay, it is glitchy. If you guys don't mind waiting 30 seconds, I'll be back. I think I I think I can know what to do here to make this better. Give me 30 seconds. I'll be back. Right. Um, so I just hardwired my Ethernet into my computer. I had it hardwired yesterday, but I forgot to do it today. Let's see if that makes things any better. I see on my end I've officially switched from Wi-Fi to wire. Can you guys let me know if things are now back to normal? And if so, I'll jump back into. Okay, sweet. Okay, I'll just have to do that going forward. I'll have to hardwire in. I do have a Wi-Fi antenna in this PC, but it seems like maybe that's not enough for streaming. We're figuring this out one day at a time. Just started streaming a week ago. Um, so I appreciate you guys putting up with some of the technical difficulties. Got a comment here from Zerp. He probably had a ridiculous amount of business with DAG and DWP in the last month because of the sense of urgency he created towards the end of the year with a $100 prediction. Yeah, I agree with that. There's so I don't know if you guys watch Zach Rector or not. He's been making some, I don't know if you want to call them hit pieces, but he's been kind of blowing the lid off of some of his back end dealings, and it's all hearsay, but it doesn't look the greatest. Let's jump into XR. Ooh, I had a hiccup there. Let's jump into XRP's inflows because I think that this is pretty cool stuff. I haven't looked at it in a while. So right now we've got four on. I think 21 shares has XRP out now as well, but I don't remember their ticker. I'm gonna Google it real quick. I think it's okay, it's TOXR. I knew it was something weird. Hard to remember. So this is the 5th ETF that's been released for XRP. We got our fund flows. I don't know that this one's really done that well. Oh, that's not good. It's only been out for about a month. So it started out, it launched with just shy of 50 million. It did eventually get to 50 million. But this is weird. Quite literally yesterday, Fillion got pulled out of the 21 shares ETF. It's interesting. I mean, it's not like this ETF is really doing anything anyways. But that's probably not the best. My favorite one is Franklin Templeton's. I actually own this in my own IRA. Um, so I've had Franklin Templeton holdings for quite a while, and they seem to be a really good manager. So happy to bank with them, or not bank, but hold my XRP with them as opposed to the other ones. Franklin Templeton hasn't had a single zero uh, inflow day, so all of these are net positive. It's been about 300 million since it launched back on 25th. I think it's pretty cool that even so this has been out for almost 2 months. The daily flows on this are pretty good. Some days are going up as high as $12 million. Even on the low end, this ETF is eating up about 3 million a day. Uh-oh. Audio cutting out and some video very pixelated. Is it still that way for you guys? I did hardwire in. Ah, crap. I wonder if switch to OBS if that'll get better, because on OBS I'll be able to adjust my upload speed. Let's just see if there's anything I can do here. Streaming doesn't give me almost any, so I can't almost do anything to change this. Yeah, this doesn't do anything here. No matter what, Monday I'm going to be switching to OBS, and we're going to do OBS from that point forward. It's just I needed to play around with it. Let me know if it doesn't get better in the next 30 seconds. I'll just relaunch the stream because that's what worked last time. We could do an upload speed test. Okay, well, that part's good. And so I don't think it's on my end. It could be on YouTube's end. Well, I'm getting good signal on my side. Is it still bad for you guys? Yeah, I've got a second monitor up here. So I've got the chat on a different monitor. You can kind of see. I'm able to drag stuff in and out. Tiago, it's back to normal. Back to normal for you guys. By the way, since we're doing a speed test here, I see there's more people in the stream. If you're brand new here, we stream every day every weekday anyways, from 11 to 1. I appreciate it if you could like the stream, and if you're enjoying this, make sure you're subscribed so that you know how to get back here for future episodes. We're gonna you guys just let me know if it's choppy again, one way or another. I don't know. Maybe I gotta upgrade my internet. We'll figure this out. It's a work in progress. I appreciate that you guys are here, and yeah, let me do that. I'm gonna duplicate this thing and all right. Okay. Here's what oh, I see it. It's buffering. Here's what oh, I see it. It's buffering. Oh man, it looks like crap. Oh, I see it. It's buffering. It's so frustrating. Oh man, it looks like crap. Well, the last time this happened when I relaunched the stream, that solved the problem. Do you guys think I should just relaunch this? Yeah, we got the speed test at let's see, I don't have Wi-Fi on with my phone, so my phone's not connected to Wi-Fi right now. Plus, I'm hardwired in. Let's just see what Google says real quick. My internet is wired in, but stream is choppy. Okay, bitrate and band. Um, let's see. Let's see. Going on here. So it's probably got to do with the bitrate. My upload and download speed was 350 for both. So it could just be that the YouTube stream. Yeah, it could just be that the YouTube stream is not very good, and I'll just have to use OBS going forward. No VPN on my end. So one thing we could try, I could try relaunching the stream in OBS. It might take 1 or 2 minutes to get this back up, but I think we could do that, and maybe that's the way forward. All right. No, I'm on a gaming PC actually, so that this thing is usually pretty good. I don't think it's the computer. I think it could be my upload speed. Um, since we're here, I don't want to bog the stream down. I'm gonna just switch to OBS. This might be a good opportunity just to see if I do that. Let's just see what, because I think that streaming through the YouTube app itself isn't going to work out. It's this is too choppy. I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll see if I can relaunch the stream right here without you guys having to switch channels. Let me just see, because I think I had to end the stream to be able to switch the mode over. So we'll see what happens, and then hopefully next week we're on OBS and this problem's solved for good.